on, everybody?
How's that remote working for you?
It's perfect. It's chugging along. It's like a giant Gonzalez match, you know. It's just like you just hold out.
Good thing we don't have any more of the...
Oh,
man.
Welcome back to Journey Through the Darkside. I'm your host, Daniel.
I'm Simon.
And we're here to conclude our giant Gonzalez trilogy. Simon, what we got? What's on tap tonight?
SummerSlam 1993. From the Palace of... I'm just not really looking forward to this.
We're trying right here. You gotta bear with us on this. This is gonna be a rough one. So
from the Palace of Auburn Hills in Auburn Hills, Michigan, with an astounding crowd of
20,000.
23,954. So just slightly under 24,000 people.
Too shabby. Not too shabby.
Got to see this fucking.
So what's the main event that night?
Well, you know what? I'm posing her out. I'm looking it up right now.
Sorry.
Man, Lex gets the title.
He wins it. Big celebration. He has that title in his hands.
That's what happens when Yoko teams up with Cornette.
That's it. Luger wins the title, and he has a great run with it, and actually takes the company to the next golden age. Luger, big draw. Fans love him.
I think it was Jerry Jarrett once who said the Lex Express was a good idea. You just had the wrong guy on the bus.
I feel bad for Lex. I really do.
I think if we can real quick.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We got time.
I know the battery's running down.
Battery is running down right now.
You know, pull back the curtain. But a lot of people at this point in time were on the Bret Hart train.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, Lex just rolls in with this
physique and yep.
And Vince goes, "All right, pal, you're the next Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah,
we need an American as our next real American, not a Canadian.
That just doesn't work."
And we'll learn here shortly that.
Oh yeah, we'll see exactly where we're going with it. But
but on a side note, like everyone was at this point was on the Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Or a lot of influential backstage people were in on for Bret Hart.
Not just that, crowd too. Like even at the time you watch the pay-per-views leading up to them at the Royal Rumble together, Hart's definitely getting better crowd reactions.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I'll admit this is around the time where I'm starting to slowly come around because he just came off the King of the Ring victory, winning 3 awesome matches in a row. Also beating Razor for a second time on pay-per-view, motherfucker. Anyway, this is Razor's first face appearance, by the way.
Right.
So yeah, this is me finally not being conflicted, rooting for a bad guy. So, Luger always, and I'm noticing more now that I'm rewatching all these old stuff. He was just always a better heel. He's cocky, he's arrogant, and I feel like every time you put him in his face, this is just WCW too. They try to just push him into this little box. It doesn't work. And when it does work, they didn't want to pull the trigger on him. It's like I don't know. It's just like he has this weird kind of like. He's hot when he's really not, and then when they do try to pull the trigger, it's just like, ugh, too late, we missed it. So, I don't know. But we're not talking about Luger. We're not talking about Luger and that awesome...
Again, I kind of wish we were.
Isn't it bad, like, each of the main events... Like, even before, I can make the argument, like, well, you know what, maybe a little bit better, but we got a good match going up against it. And it has not been the case now for the past 2 weeks, so... what match... Oh, yeah, what are we looking at here?
A rest in peace match. Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez.
So let's do a little bit of background real quick.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Of course,
this is going to be interesting.
We'll recap the 2 events we just did this past 2 weeks.
This is going to
be Gonzalez shows up to the Rumble.
Get you plenty of this.
Yeah. He showed up at the Rumble and costs Taker his shot, at the title. Decimates him. So it sets up a feud at WrestleMania, or a match at WrestleMania, where Taker was actually starting to come back a little bit. Gonzalez got scared. They had a backup plan. Like it's funny that they actually had the ether ready to go, like the ready to rock, in case something goes bad.
See, maybe going back to the Rumble real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, maybe we don't want to see Taker be the victim of this, and I think you mentioned it before when we were talking about like why couldn't they have trained him and kind of.
Yeah.
Honestly. It wasn't that big of a deal. Wasn't that bad that he came in the ring. Obviously, this giant, 26 foot tall.
The visual is impressive. I mean,
squashes Undertaker. Undertaker gets hardly any offense whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And that's it. But it's like when you put him in a match where the other guy has to get offense and now Gonzalez has to sell and he has to work. That's where it all crumbles apart. You know, and that's the thing. Like a lot of these big giant wrestlers, especially at that time, were squash match
special.
Experts, that's what was cool. Like Johnny Gonzalez versus Bob Jones from some local.
I didn't do that. I should have done that in the preparation. I should have watched some Giant Gonzalez WWF matches this time, like Superstars or whatever, to see what they look like. Because I'm curious if they also suck dick too or not.
Because there's a lot of wrestlers that like have limited abilities, and then one day it's like, hey, we're gonna put you in a full-on match.
Yeah.
And it I mean, even Goldberg stuff.
Yeah. Him and Regal. They had,
and Regal got in trouble.
Yeah, it was Regal that ended up taking over that one. So the weeks leading up to this match, so actually going back to pay-per-view, King of the Ring, leading the King of the Ring, Taker was fighting Mr. Hughes, and Gonzalez interferes, and of course Hughes would actually go on to beat the King of the Ring. Imagine that for a second, that Mr. Hughes goes over Taker, but whatever.
Debut King of the Ring, right?
Do what?
Debut of the King of the Ring?
Yeah, well, as a pay-per-view, yes. It's been around for a while, but as pay-per-view. So, and that's the other part of, we talked about last week and the week before that this was a transitional period for the company. Not just the roster, but now they were introducing a fifth pay-per-view, trying to compete with WCW, who at this point had 5 as well. And we are kind of getting a little bit more going on, so they are trying to change things up. If we're going to get,
And I know that's a favorite for you, too.
I'm a big fan of the King of the Ring. I am a fan. Tournaments that go too long I don't like, but King of the Ring is a perfect... 8 men, 7 matches. That's a perfect amount right there. But Taker gets attacked by Mr. Hughes, and so it leads to a 3-on-1 attack. Well, 3-on-2 initially. They take out Paul Bearer pretty quickly. But 3-on-1, Harvey Wippleman, Mr. Hughes, and Giant Gonzalez just destroying Taker, and they steal his urn. Source of his power. And he was not the same. He hasn't been seen for a while. So leading up here, the match was came out as announced it was going to be a Rest in Peace match. Now, we know what it is now, but I don't know if you remember, or you're kind of hazy at these early ones. The weeks leading up to this, they were very vague as to what a Rest in Peace. They didn't come out and just say it. In fact, when Howard Finkel explains the rules, that's the first time you hear it. So leading up to
they were like that a lot back in the day.
And from what I remember, Taker did a lot of promos in the graveyard.
This was a time where they were starting to bring in new match types.
Do different gimmicky match. Maybe with Taker, because Taker that's his whole thing. So I remember at this point, Taker's doing a lot of promos in the graveyard, and I don't know what you're expecting, but it almost felt like it's going to be a Buried Alive type match. Like maybe what you would call Buried Alive, but he was like, we're going to be resting in peace. I can't do my throat's a little messed up. But he's like, rest in peace. And as he's shoveling dirt into the so looking back, you're almost thinking like, why are you not having the Buried Alive match? Now, granted, I guess, we're a little ahead of his time right now, but so the Rest in Peace match winds up just being a street fight or a no DQ match, no count out.
Chicago street fight.
He went back to his roots, Chicago street fight, baby. And so it's just kind of like, really? And it's just like, it really, there's nothing gimmicky about it beyond that. So it's just like, they could have just been like, this is no holds barred, and then have a picture of Zeus. And the poster of Hogan and Zeus, but then switch the faces out. So we need people to do a Photoshop out there. Do that for us. Giant Gonzalez, Taker. Oh my God.
But
anyways,
at first I thought it was going to be. I thought it was what am I looking for? I thought it was like a last man standing type thing because Taker's down for a while. And it's almost like the ref was making some kind of a count or whatever, and it's like.
Even though they said early on no count outs, it's like, same thing. I was thinking like, well, how's he get counted out then? Like, it's not a.
Well, that's like, okay,
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
like okay, they just had a different name for it at the time, which is actually one of my favorite gimmick matches.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
On the video games, especially, it's one of my favorites.
And they would incorporate the Last Man Standing into a gimmicky match for Taker later on too, called the Armageddon match.
Okay,
we will definitely get to that at some point.
Oh, I can't find that.
It's awesome.
So better than this, right?
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yes. we could have done just like 10 jobbers running there and fight the Taker, and it would have been this great. It would have been way better than this. So anyway, so that's the build up here, and it's interesting to note that Paul Bearer is nowhere to be found. And thing is, when Taker's doing these promos, he's without Paul Bearer. And I remember that was a big strong point. Was like now Taker doesn't have his power. He doesn't even have his manager, and now he's got to go against the man that's already humbled him once before. Can Taker do it? Now he's guaranteed. And he's guaranteed he's gonna make him Rest in Peace in a Rest in Peace match that we don't even know what it is yet. So like we just said, they basically said it has to be a win by, no count out, no DQ, and there has to be a winner. Which I'm thinking so I guess they could have said no time on the draw either. I guess it's gonna win like all night. I guess luckily it didn't. But so anyways, so there it is, just no DQ match, no holds barred. So that's the match. So Gonzalez and Harvey Wippleman come out, and then Taker comes out by himself, and it is kind of an unusual vibe, without especially in this era. But what I love is right off the bat he goes right to Gonzalez.
Now with the and again I'm hazy on those days, and I didn't watch any of the build-up stuff. The lights going off. Was that new?
This was new, yeah.
Immediately we're like, what's going on?
Yeah, no, good point. I'm glad you brought it up. Very first time we see it, with him doing this and the lights coming back on.
Yeah.
Very first time. So yeah, this is a brand new aspect to his character and his entrance. So yeah, historic side note right there, absolutely.
Yeah.
So he gets in the ring and immediately goes after Gonzalez. And we're seeing Taker much more aggressive in this match than we have in the previous match. Any side notes in the match before we get to, I guess, the big notes at the end?
He's starting to grow his hair back.
Yeah.
His bodysuit's starting to grow hair a little bit.
Yeah, the suit's different now.
He stopped waxing.
Looks like he has a little more muscles added to it too. Like, I don't know if that's possible.
Not
a little more chiseled,
it was a
more defined, I guess.
Completely different thing. Like
trying to keep up with Luger, he's just like, fuck. That's what Luger was like.
I will have to say that Harvey Wippleman had probably not mentioned a whole lot in the list of top managers. Mm-hmm. Pretty underrated though.
Yeah,
not bad. Like
I feel like especially
Louisville native.
With
not that we're near there, but just saying like it's just a cool city.
Exactly. Yeah. That's your thing, I feel like with him when he managed Sid and when he managed Giant Gonzalez, he shines more as a manager. When he was Bully Busick and Warlord, not so much. Kamala, I don't know if he really had anything.
He's a good mouthpiece manager.
Yeah. But here I really like because in this match, Taker not only is he trying to kill Gonzalez,
he had to work extra hard.
To try to anything, and he doesn't have Kimchi out there to kind of fall out the load with here. So he's like, I'm the only manager. Yeah. Taker, and once again, this match for the most part, with the exception of the chloroform, it's pretty much copy and paste. A lot of the same moves. Throws into the stairs outside, and
a ridiculous stair bump. And I even screamed at my TV. It's like, why are you Mick Foley in those stairs?
Yeah, he goes right over. He hits it and then topples with it.
Oh
man, you're right. He did. He took an insane bump right there. One cool thing, the story they're telling here is he's trying to regain his urn. Yeah. Once he gets that urn, the power's back, and so
he's getting dominated.
Yeah, and he's going for it. Every time he gets close to Harvey, like, what? Oh. And I do like. You're right. Wippleman really does add a lot more to this match than he did the previous match. So that's the big things going into this thing. I will say it's also neat too. When we look at that urn, it's like the same urn they've been using. It's dinged up pretty good. And I love that. Yeah. So I guess as a kid even, I assumed they just had a different one each time. Like, this new urn. No, I'm pretty sure it's the same one, so I'm digging that aspect. So Gonzalez is just dominating, and then we hear it. And you're like, the bell is what's going on? And Paul Bearer returns, and he has this black wreath that says "Rest in Peace" on it.
He does.
And dude, as simple and low key as that is, it's the fucking coolest. I'm like, oh my god, he's coming back, and he knows Gonzalez is going down. Like, he has that kind of faith.
Oh yeah.
And it's great when you see, we didn't mention it at WrestleMania when Taker's coming back out from the stretcher. Paul Bearer's trying to hold him back, and he's kind of interesting to know, man, that's your man. You guys are from the Darkside. And even you are like, you can't beat Gonzalez. Don't even try. And he's trying to hold Taker back. And Taker's like, no, I'm going back in there. But here it seems like he's fully on board. Like, what? No, you were right. I'm sorry to doubt you. And
plus Paul Bearer has to
the service is in session now.
He's been personally assaulted.
Exactly.
And now
so
it's like, well, fuck you.
Because now he's like, if I don't come out here and try to do my best, we're both going to go down. It's a team at this point.
Yeah.
And so he comes out there, and of course, Wippleman's like, I'm going to fight you, take his jacket off, and he runs right into a Paul Bearer clothesline.
Dude, brutal.
Yes.
I mean,
is it better than anything Gonzalez does?
You see manager fights.
Yeah.
And they're always kind of,
Exactly, yeah.
Dude, Bearer just...
Wippleman sells it perfectly.
Mark Calloway taught him how to throw.
Exactly. So he hits him, and then Bear makes a beeline for the urn to probably... when Paul Bearer came back, probably the biggest pop of the night, Until he grabs that urn, and then the crowd goes fucking insane. Because like, the match itself, crowd ain't doing shit for hardly.
So that's why I got to ask about the urn. It's like the urn was out there.
Yes.
The power was still there. So, but does it have to be in Paul Bearer's hands?
So here's how I'm gonna look at it from both directions. Let's do it from kayfabe first, or from what their storyline.
Wippleman had it. It was just as close to him as when Paul Bearer.
And he'd be like, ha, it's up in the air too. I feel like it's a mixture of the power and it's the vibe that Bear is giving it. Now, here's what I think. If we're gonna really go kayfabe,
let's do it. Yeah, that's what we fucking do.
You know, with the Taker, his whole origins and stuff.
This is me, Mark.
Exactly. When he's out there fighting, he's perfected the art of being able to take a lot of punishment. Like he has a high threshold now, so he can take a beat, which is why he can no-sell all these moves, get clobbered, and still set up. But he bet someone who he can't do that with. And even Paul Bearer is just like, that's their parlor trick. It's like, hey, every time that you go to sit up, I'll raise it up. It'll look like the power. They'll freak out. It's mind games. And this is the one time Paul Bearer's like, shit, Taker, and he's really hurt. Like Taker's really hurt. Fuck. And they don't have their exactly. Yeah, come on, Taker, And so it's one of those times where Taker almost drops the gimmick, where he's just like, dude, I'm fucking hurt and I'm mad. I'm limping back there, like fuck this urn shit. I feel like though he wanted to, when you go after somebody, kind of like what Batman does with his villains. He doesn't have to dress up like a bat, but he adds a little theatrics to it. And it's like he's got his number. He realized after WrestleMania that this guy can be staggered and taken down, and if a man can fall, you can beat him. Now, granted, WrestleMania didn't turn out good for Taker, but guess what? When he was getting rolled out, he's like, this is bullshit. And Bear's like, dude, he's too big, you can't do it. He's like, no, I'm going back out there. And he takes the giant down. 4 clotheslines, then Gonzalez had been told physically, like, hey, you need to fall down. Yeah. And then he rolls out, but still, he takes him down. At this point, I feel like with him and Paul Bear backstage, he was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get that urn back. I mean, still, my parents are in there, I got to have my urn back. But guess what? We're going to get back. And we're going to make it seem like the power has come back, because this man can be beaten, and I know it. And I feel like that's kind of what it was, because even Paul Bear will raise it 2 or 3 times, and Taker doesn't come up, because he's getting his ass kicked. But then when he finally does come up, it's, oh! And Gonzalez is kind of like, how do you get the urn back? Wait, is this real? And it's too late, because now Taker...
If it bleeds, it can die.
Exactly. Yes, there's your Predator reference for today. So, anyways, Taker gets back up, mounts an offense. I will say, Gonzalez's selling gets a little better. Not necessarily physically, but his face expressions aren't doing the... His face goes more stone face and more wincing in pain. Taker goes up to
the top. He still don't have a fucking clue.
Goes up to the top rope, hits a clothesline, and then crosses his arms and does the tombstone pin. And I'm like,
yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, I get it. You're not tombstoning, and you're not chokeslamming this guy. This guy ain't coming off the ground. But it's like, would you think in a no DQ match, would it have been more poetic to hit him with the urn and literally knock him out? A clothesline, it's a Taker clothesline. Like, even jobbers get up under a Taker clothesline, kills Gonzalez. He's like, oh my God. Now, it could be, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So maybe when he finally took a bump, it was like, holy shit, that hurt.
Maybe he's supposed to get up and he's like, I'm not.
I can't do it, can't do it. And so Taker pins him to a huge response. Him and Paul Bear reunite. He gets in there, does the theatrics with the urn, and then they place the wreath right next to him, and they exit out. And Taker wins. He defeats Gonzalez for a final time, made him rest in peace, sort of. And then Wippleman's in there, kind of like, what happened? And Gonzalez is pissed at him. Now, here's what's funny about WWE logic. Whatever. So Gonzalez is like, why'd you give the urn back? You little fucker. And he chokeslams Harvey, but then he becomes the face. And it's like, well, no, you're pissed because you guys are playing back right. You're still a heel, right? No, they make him a face after this. And it's like, and he didn't last much longer, and this is actually his final pay-per-view match. They do try to make him a good guy, but it wasn't working out. He couldn't wrestle. So,
they should have made him a commentator.
The Argentinian cast booth over there, the commentator booth. Yeah. But anyways, so that's how it ends, and he ends up taking out Harvey Wippleman. And to my knowledge, this is actually the last time that Harvey Wippleman will step to Taker too. I don't think Wippleman and him have a feud after this. So Taker's able to not only take out Gonzalez, but end it with Paul Bear ended it with Harvey Wippleman, and got the urn back and rise off into the sunset. So Aftermath here, not really much of anything. Now he's kind of back on track, and maybe he's going to be setting his sights on maybe a richer prize.
He was back on track at WrestleMania. So now is he really back on? Or excuse me, he was back on track at Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble before Royal Rumble, but then he got derailed.
He's back on track now.
Now he's back on track because now he's going for a world title then, and Gonzalez knocked him away, so then he took out Gonzalez.
But no, you're assuring me now he's back on track.
I'm pretty sure. I'm sure he's pseudo there. He's halfway on track.
Because you tricked me.
I did trick you. I thought for sure 93 is going to be his year. So there it is. He wins it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give my scoring first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to give it a surprising 2 stars. In-ring work does not get any better. I mean, it doesn't get any better. I don't know if you saw a body slam he gives Taker, but dude, Taker lands so fucking awkward. Like, he almost lands like on his feet, but then crumbled. It almost like took his knees out, and I was like, God damn. The storyline wise, the antics that went on during the match, the ending, and then once again, we keep saying, I know people are probably getting tired of hearing this, but like, it adds to the story of Taker. He finally slayed the Giant. Didn't really make him rest in peace, but fucking close enough. At this point, we're putting the whole thing to rest anyways. I'll give it 2 stars. It's a generous 2 stars. It's a very generous 2 stars. But I feel like at this point, it's kind of like, I do think it's a better sitting experience than WrestleMania 9. Not by much. And I'm not going to lie, until Paul Bear comes out there, it is just like, fuck me. Because the WrestleMania match was just as dreadful to watch, I thought. In fact, it wasn't. And even the after stuff, I didn't really care much for, which is why that whole thing got a 1 star for me. Because honestly, at that point, I'm just like, let's just move on. Like, I don't care. This is the one time, though, once Paul Bear comes out there, I am more in tune, engaged in what's going on. Even though the wrestling's now out the window, I know what to expect. So it does elevate a little bit with Paul Bear. And once again, at this point, I think even though it's a shitty way getting there, we finally come to the end of the journey. Not our journey, their journey, with the Gonzalez trilogy. And it is a satisfying conclusion, I think. So, but once again, I'm being very nice. 2 stars. That's what I give it. Go ahead.
1.
Fair enough.
1 star. Better match, better presentation, better everything, but like you said, not enough. I'd give it a 1.5 if they were allowed.
Yeah.
1.
2. Well,
I'd probably give it like a 1.3 to be honest with you.
Well, you went 1, I went 2, so it does.
It's still a 1.5.
It evens out to 1.5 right now, so it's a 1.5 star match right now.
You know, like I mean, Bear's comeback in the mid match was the savior.
Yeah, the highlight for sure.
But what is it they say? It was snake bit from the start.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case or not, but yeah, this one definitely was. I feel like it's a no DQ match. They don't use that stipulation as much. Like, Gonzalez does bring out a chair at one point, and they brawl on the outside, but they brawl on the outside in the first match too, so it's not like it was like any different.
Because they've got to know that after seeing, like I said, not so much the Royal Rumble stuff, because that worked. It was just a quick squash, and it got sympathy on Undertaker. But they got to understand after Mania, after what happened at Mania. And I'm not watching what happened between Mania and SummerSlam either, so that they've got to be like the powers that be backstage, Vince and Bruce Pritchard and Patterson, whoever the fuck else is back there is going, okay. We gotta get, damn it, we made a mistake.
Yeah.
And like, see, because they're watching this as adults.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's their business.
Smart
adults. Exactly. So
going, oh my God, that was shit. Like, they may hear the crowd reacting to this and that and thinking, okay, the crowd got the entertainment value of it.
Yeah.
But like the match and Gonzalez as a wrestler
ain't working.
Yeah, you got to go, bud.
And I feel like they're like, too, because when you put it like that, it makes me surprised that they didn't just pull the trigger at King of the Ring. Like, why extend this all the way to SummerSlam? Like, and then even then, it's like, well, shit, you had all that time.
Yeah.
Why is he not better at wrestling? Like, seriously.
And like you said, I mean, you said it was a little more significant, I guess, but the selling and stuff really, to me, wasn't much different.
Really? See, like I said, it was still bad. I'm not saying like it's a major improvement.
He naturally has a face that looks like that anyway. I don't want to make fun of the guy, but.
Well, I mean, he's only Argentinian, so right. He's not. I don't mean like that. You know, it's like he's not mentally challenged. What I'm trying to say. So
yeah.
So okay. So 1.5 stars then. So that's that. We're going to take a little bit of a break, if you don't mind.
Oh my God! After this, please.
Yes, we definitely need. We both well deserved.
Please, can we go out into the light for a little bit?
Yes.
Or do we just have to be stuck in Darkside?
We have a vacation home outside the Darkside, so we're going to visit it. It's Metropolis, where Mark Calloway was originally from. So we'll go to Metropolis for a little bit. Guys,
does he know Superman?
We've discussed that. We hope so. We need that crossover because that's how WWF will make that money today. Is that sweet DC WWF crossover money?
Yeah.
So, anyways, guys, Thanksgiving's coming up. A little bit of a fall break coming up.
Fucking wait.
Exactly.
I know you can't.
Oh, look at that. And on top of that, for me, I'm a big Black Friday guy. Like I love buying me some DVDs on Black Friday.
I'm glad you said Friday in there.
So anyways, so guys, we really hope you guys, no matter what you're doing coming up, we hope you guys all have an awesome fall break, and that's all we got. But we will come back in December. What we got when we come back in December? What's going to be the next event? Now we're past this whole Giant Gonzalez SummerSlam bullshit. What's the next pay-per-view on the line?
I hope Survivor Series 1993 doesn't disappoint me.
Well, I told you we'd be back on track, and guess what? Taker's back in the main event.
Back on track. Back in the main event.
So we haven't had. Well, we did a main event run with 93, but let's just not talk about it. Let's just make a deal. We just won't talk about 93. At least these three matches ever again.
He defeated Hogan in the main event.
That's what I'm saying, but the last main event he was in was at the Royal Rumble, so he had a bit of a break. He was not even like semi-main event in some of these. Some of these he's just like out there. Where?
Real quick.
Yes.
We're not even reviewing a Royal Rumble right now. Royal Rumble is not the main event. It's the main event. Get it? It's what the but I still want to see the title match.
Oh no. They do that later on, and because even the next Royal Rumble.
No, I'm not saying they're doing that at this time. I'm just saying like right now. It's
No, so 93, 94. Well, actually, all of them.
Now we have like 6 Rumbles in a Royal Rumble now. We have women's and the men's, and then the children,
the tag team, the cruiserweight, and
cruiserweights, and
hardcore
NXT,
Rumble, and 205 Live, Rumble, and then the UK NXT Royal Rumble, and
Royal Rumble's like an 18-hour show.
24/7 Royal Rumble. Everybody got their shit going. So, but no. So this past one, the title match came on before. Oh, absolutely. The Royal Rumble headline next year. Of course, Taker will give himself a little title shot. Spoiler alert on that one. Before the Rumble, but then the Rumble main events it. But then, man, which one is it? 95 or 96? Maybe it's 96. Where it's 96. It's Hart and Taker, but they actually headline the show, and I'm just like.
Hell yeah.
Oh, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like after a Rumble, I'm done and ready to go home. And they're just like, oh, no, we got one more match. And I'm just like, even if it is Bret Hart and Taker, which is an awesome fucking match. I can't wait to get to it.
Are we going to watch that one?
The match, not the Rumble. Yeah, the Rumble we need to watch.
Right.
So, in fact, the next couple Rumbles, actually next 3 Rumbles, we don't have to worry about welcome Rumbles. These hour-long shows we've been doing are going to be cut down significantly because no more Rumbles for a while.
I might still watch the Rumbles, though.
Oh, you go right ahead. Yeah, I've been watching all the pay-per-views because that's it's in my DNA at this point. So, all right. So that's all we got, guys. Have a great fall break, and we will catch you next time.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Daniel.
Simon.
And we're out.